In the crowded galleries of fashion and the transient glare of televised contests, Monika Sta Maria's story reads like one of patient assembly, small decisions, steady practice, and a stubborn willingness to show up for herself. What could have been a conventional life, university, sport, a quiet career, slowly carved into the unexpected arc of a model who would step onto runways across Asia and beyond, represent global brands, and become, for many young Filipinas, the model of quiet confidence. The journey from shy volleyball player to international model and mentor is both an inward and outward transformation, one that required Monika to relearn how to occupy space, to make her presence her own, and to translate vulnerability into performance. Malina Monika in Santa Maria, the name on her birth certificate, arrived in Manila into a bicultural household. Born to a Filipino mother and a Malaysian father and raised in the Philippines from age 2, Monika's identity has always been braided elements of two countries, two ways of seeing herself, folded together into one. Those early years were not marked by precocious dreams of runways. Instead, she grew up shy, a child who found comfort in community and in sports more than in stage presence. Family stories center on modesty and encouragement, a home that emphasized education, discipline, and physical activity. This mixed background later became an understated advantage in her career, giving her both a broad Southeast Asian appeal and the inner flexibility to move between markets and cultures. Monika pursued formal education with seriousness. She enrolled at De La Salle University, one of the Philippines' leading universities, and completed a degree in psychology. Choosing psychology was revealing. It showed an early curiosity about human behavior and an interest in what makes people think, feel, and perform, exactly the sort of knowledge that would later support her capacity to read situations under pressure and understand the effective side of presenting oneself in front of a camera. Her years at La Salle were not only academic, they were athletic. Monika played varsity volleyball for the storied La Salle Lady Spikers, a high-level collegiate volleyball program with rigorous training and a culture of winning. Those seasons on the court taught her endurance, teamwork, and the stamina to get up and do it again after a loss, lessons she later translated into the discipline necessary for modeling's long days and repeated shoots. Monika's first public glimpses as a model came while she was still connected to campus life. Early modeling gigs featured her in local magazines such as Metro, Mega, and Circuit. In 2012 she won Century Tuna's Superboard contest, a national-level fitness and beauty competition that functions as a launchpad for fitness-focused modeling in the Philippines. That victory was pivotal. It offered both industry exposure and the confidence that comes from winning a judged competition. It marked the moment the industry began to take note. In the years following, she balanced shoots and local events with continued learning, practicing posing, attending shows, and absorbing the mechanics of editorial and commercial modeling. Monika's early career also involved small television appearances and hosting stints, which taught her to shape a public persona and to speak on camera. These first steps were pragmatic, opportunities to build a portfolio, gain visibility, and translate a nervous energy into a professional presence. Before her breakout on international television, Monika auditioned for the second season of Asia's Next Top Model. She did not make the cut that time. That rejection mattered, not as a failure but as a lesson. Instead of forcing a rapid pivot, she kept training, kept building her book, and returned to audition again the following year. The second audition's acceptance and the subsequent participation in Cycle 3 of Asia's Next Top Model, as NTM, were not overnight miracles. They were the product of refinement, persistence, and a steady accumulation of experience. The story of the rejection and return illustrates an important theme in Monika's career. Resilience is often a practice, not a disposition. In 2015, Monika stepped into the NTM Cycle 3 arena as one of 14 contestants representing various Asian markets. The show tests contestants across photoshoots, runway challenges, and commercial tasks, all under an intense, judge-driven format. Monika's technical strengths became quickly apparent. She won several Best Photo honors across the cycle and repeatedly excelled in editorial shoots. Though she did not take the winning crown, the title that year went to Ayu Gani of Indonesia. Monika finished as first runner-up and emerged from the show with broad visibility across Southeast Asia. For many viewers, she was the poised and composed competitor who balanced technical precision with an approachable warmth. For industry insiders, she was a model with marketable versatility. The exposure from ASEAN opened opportunities, campaigns, ambassadorships, and invitations to work in regional runway shows. The show also positioned her as a public figure capable of speaking about the industry and mentoring younger models, a role she later embraced. After ASEAN, Monika moved from contestant to working model with a pan-Asian footprint. She appeared on magazine covers and editorial spreads across the Philippines and Malaysia, and she partnered with brands for commercial campaigns. Among her notable commercial roles were ambassadorships and advertising spots that leveraged her active, athletic image, a through-line from her Century Tuna Superboard's victory, while also broadening into beauty and lifestyle brands. She was associated with campaigns for established brands such as Close-Up toothpaste and mobile brand Apple, and she took part in TV appearances and promotional tours for sponsors like Subaru. Those partnerships signaled a transition from editorial-only work to high-profile commercial visibility. At the same time, she expanded her modeling representation internationally, signing with agencies beyond the Philippines and entering markets including Malaysia, Singapore, China, and, later, New York representation. Her physical presence on international runways, including appearances linked to New York Fashion Week, underlined her ability to move across the commercial editorial divide, a rare commodity for many Asian models of that period. Monika's career includes a collection of tangible milestones that mark both achievement and growth. Century Tuna Superboards winner in 2012, a decisive early competition in that offered recognition and industry visibility. First runner-up, Geisha's Next Top Model, Cycle 3, 2015, the landmark television result that expanded her regional profile. Magazine covers and major campaigns, features in Metro, Mega, Circuit, and regional magazines, advertising and ambassadorship work with brands such as Close-Up and Apple. Modeling representation across Asia and into New York, signings with agencies across several markets, a bridge to international runway and editorial work. These wins reflect both industry recognition and the versatility Monika brought to different modeling genres: fitness, commercial beauty, editorial fashion, and runway. Throughout the public ups and downs of modeling life, Monika has maintained a relatively private personal life. Profiles and interviews describe a young woman of calm temperament, someone who finds balance in fitness, travel, and quiet rituals that keep her centered, the reflection, perhaps, of her psychology training. She has spoken in interviews about close relationships with family and the support they provided during her early auditions and competitions. This familial anchor likely helped anchor her during the volatile months of televised competition and the unpredictable cycles of booking and travel that characterize modeling. Monika's public career has been characterized more by steady professional development than by public controversy. The industry she entered, fashion and beauty, is frequently criticized for pressure on body image and for demanding schedules, and Monika has, in public comments and interviews, acknowledged the hard work and self-awareness required to maintain health and image. Her career also includes the challenge of being a Southeast Asian model attempting to cross into global markets. Representation for Asian models has historically been limited, and Monika's movement across markets required negotiating different expectations for beauty and presentation. In the public record, there are no major scandals tied to her name. Instead, the pressing challenges are the harder-to-see professional obstacles: staying relevant in a saturated market, protecting personal privacy, and evolving artistically without being boxed into a single niche. Public records show Monika participating in events and activities that intersect with lifestyle and wellness. However, there is limited public documentation of a formal philanthropic foundation under her name. That said, many models of her generation engage in charitable partnerships informally, supporting awareness campaigns, fitness and youth programs, and regional charitable events. Because explicit philanthropy is often underreported in entertainment profiles, Monika's philanthropic footprint appears modest in the public sources available as of 2025. Should you want, I can dig deeper into charity registers, brand CSR, corporate social responsibility reports, or event archives to seek any less publicized partnerships. The career accolades listed publicly emphasize modeling performance and competition results. The Century Tuna Superboards win and the Azentium runner-up finish are repeatedly cited in profiles and interviews as anchor achievements. In the years following her Azentium success, editorial features, commercial contracts, and invitations to act as mentor on later model-focused shows further recognized her as an industry professional. Awards from mainstream Philippine entertainment institutions are not widely reported in the public archive, but industry recognition is visible in the consistent commercial and editorial work she secured across Asia. As her on-camera competition years receded, Monika moved naturally into roles that leveraged her experience, mentoring, coaching, and appearing as an alumna on subsequent cycles of modeling competitions. In 2018 she was selected as one of the mentors for Asia's Next Top Model Season 6, a role that leveraged her on-screen experience and allowed her to shape the next generation of talent. She also remained active in campaigns and runway work and continued to grow an international presence through agency signings across several markets. These choices reflect a professional shift from being the subject of industry direction to playing a guiding role for others, the meaningful evolution for someone with a degree in psychology and a history of team sport. Monika Sta Maria's legacy is less about blockbuster celebrity and more about an archetype, the student athlete who translated discipline into artistry, the shy college girl who learned to occupy space on a runway, the regional TV contestant who turned televised exposure into a steady, cross-market modeling career. For many young Filipinas and Southeast Asian aspirants, she is an example of how persistence, dedication, and careful career building can yield international opportunities. Her path emphasizes skill over spectacle, preparation over instant fame. The deeper legacy is cultural. Monika's career coincided with a period when Asian models were pushing for broader representation on runways and magazine pages. Her visibility in regional competitions, international runways, and commercial campaigns contributed to that slow recalibration, a fashion industry incrementally opening up to diverse faces and body types. For viewers and aspiring models who saw her on TV, the message was simple and enduring, that presence, calm, and craft matter as much as any sudden breakout moment.